All right, first thing I'm gonna do a remote start here. Just want you to hear something. That's gonna be the exhaust leak that's pretty common on these Hemi manifolds. I'm gonna open up the engine bay and I'll show you a bit more. All right, this is the engine bay portion on the 2019 Ram. This has a Hemi in it. A couple things I did note. Got a bit of staining to the engine, so it might have just been the area from like the rubber seals and stuff. It looks like it might have just been like a sandy climate or something that they blew out of here, so it has been cleaned really heavily. Belts, hoses all look really good. I did try to get that cold start. It was a lot worse on like initial cold start as far as the manifolds there. Did notice we have a little bit of fraying on this, like a little bit of chewing on here, but I don't see any nests or anything throughout this engine bay. They did go to a bolted feature on these air boxes, so I can't pull those apart anymore, unfortunately. Now let's get in here. It's gonna be your crash rail. We always look for like bolt heads and stuff, make sure they haven't been turned, make sure we don't have any kinks or any kind of chipping on the paint or anything like that. Over on this side, same story. It's gonna be your ABS and everything there as well. These are electric power steering assist, so you don't have to worry about pulley on there. Overall pretty dry, like I said, just a little bit of stainage from whatever dirt climate this thing was in. We're gonna move on to the rest of the vehicle here. All right, on the exterior portion, we're just kind of highlighting a few things. Overall, the truck's pretty clean. It looks like it has been used as a truck. We do have a dent in the bumper over here. On the sides, it looks pretty good. Steps are really good. They're not loose, they're not banging around or shaking. Tires and everything also look really good. On the passenger side, it looks like they were just rubbing the curbs a bit when they parked this thing. Lights and everything work good. Kind of hard to notice on the camera, but you can see we got some chipping from like rocks and everything. They did do touch-ups on some of the worst of wear there. Nothing really on the hood though, so that's good. And then the thing I want to point out, we have some scratching on this panel here. It's pretty light. They do have some touch-up marks here, cab as well, so there was some deeper ones there. So a little bit of marks here, nothing crazy though. Did notice we had some dimple on the rocker here, probably a seatbelt or something got lodged in there, but on the exterior portion here, checks out pretty good. Pretty much stock, nothing really major sticking out on this thing. The other thing I'd kind of keep an eye out is this panel here. Just doesn't look right. It looks like it's peeling a little bit. These open up without any extra effort. They close really nicely. This one, same as the other side, no plugs in there, so you might want to get the plugs. It's nice for when you fill these with like water stuff that drains, but if you're trying to keep stuff dry, you want those in there. I didn't see them in the truck at all, so one thing I wanted to note. That's going to be our conclusion. All right, starting at the front, we're going to do our undercarriage sweep here. So, see if I can get a good angle here. This is going to be front to back. Sun kind of went away, but as you can see, cross member, everything looks really good. No excessive rust or anything up here. Lower valance in good shape. No wet spots. Everything looks good there. You can still see both cats. We'll get good angles from the side here as well, so you can get a little better look on it, but I always like to go front to back so you can see the whole chassis there. All right, on the driver front corner, this is gonna be your rocker, your body mount to the chassis. That's gonna be your cat and frame. All look pretty good. They do have some paint on this. It's not like an undercoat. Just kind of cover up some of that surface rust that you'll see. But nothing flaking, nothing peeling, nothing chipping. I'm gonna go to this back corner. It's pretty common on these where they rust. Kind of show that to you. Now this is gonna be your back corner on the cab. Really good, pretty dry. No rust forming or flaking or starting there. That's usually the spot, or back here in the bed. So looks good. That's what I always like to look for there. It's gonna be more of that paint they put on there. You can kind of see hit and miss on the frame there. It's not really an undercoat, it's just kind of paint. All right, on the rear, you can see we still have stock mufflers, resonators, and everything. This is the factory chassis hitch mount and spare. I believe they got a full-size spare tire too. And then I'm gonna hop over to this side. Crash rail. There's your hitch mount, exhaust, rear end. These have the airbags. I'll kind of show you that going up and down throughout this process. Right now it's at the low setting. When I do another walk around, it'll be at the high setting. I'm gonna move over to the cab. All right, so this is the passenger on the cab corner here. Really good. Like I said, no rust. Body mount, factory exhaust. Sounds great, actually. Get on the highway, this thing sounded good. And there's that more of that paint. Go along the rocker here. As you can see, looks great. Front end of your mount. That's gonna be your transmission. Nice and dry. Engine pan there, and front suspension. All looks good. All right, we're gonna do our interior portion here. This does have gear selectors on the wheel as well. Stations, volume on the backside. Everything on the wheel worked as intended. Gauge here. We currently had 94,782 miles at the time of inspection. Do have a fuel light on, just kind of how they keep the vehicles on the lot. And then as far as controls and everything, all work great. Pedals, auto doors, locks, power folding mirrors. It does have the large infotainment. I want to point out, that's why I have the nav up. It's kind of just stuck in this lake. Even when I navigate, it starts from here to our current location. So something to keep in mind there. Maybe it needs a refresh. I'm not sure how to do it on these. This does have the air ride. Goes up, goes down. This is at the approach angle right now. See you up. So when I get back out and I do my conclusion video, it'll be nice lifted tall. CDs here. This does have a rear locker and 4-low. All that works great. I didn't get to a gravel lot, but it binds up hard in the pavement, so I didn't try to go too far while turning. Center console, you got the deep dish. That's what I call it, at least. This thing is super deep. You can go forward, back with this. Another cubby down below. It says like a little workstation here. Cup holders here. And then up here, we have our slide window, full glass top, so the whole thing opens up. Kind of open up all the doors and show you that here in a moment. All right, this is gonna be looking from outside in on the interior here. Door cards are really cool, black and red. It's vinyl leather, some nice trim, all in really good shape. This is gonna be the wear on the seat that I was talking about, primarily right there. Carpets are in really good shape. Looks like these mats have been on the whole time. Pedals also in good shape. The rear doors open almost straight out, which is crazy. They're huge. So lots of space getting in and out on the rear here. Like I said, they got these all-weather mats throughout the whole thing. Storage here. These just pop up. Charging ports here. Power sliding rear window. I had it open, but weather's being a little wild today. Pretty nice back seat, actually. It doesn't look like it's been used much. We're gonna hop over to the other side. Just to get you a good visual on the door cards. Really good shape. Interior really good. I like this overall. Pop over on this side. Manual seats on this side, so keep that in mind. Looks like our trim for the jack and everything was missing on this. It's just not here. Glove box here with the damper, and then another one there. And kind of just really nice. Extra pockets. I'm gonna hop over to the other side. I do want to show you the one concern I had while I was looking at the inside. All right, so this weather strip is sagging quite a bit. Sorry for the shake there. I'm trying to switch hands. And then this B-pillar trim, kind of hard to see right here, is loose. The headliner right here was sagged down. I pushed it up and put the weather strip back in, but you can see it's still, I mean, I can stick my finger in here. So it's not lined up perfectly. I'm not sure what's going on there. Doesn't look like it's been taken apart for bodywork or anything. Like these bolts are all still like never been touched. So it might just be some interior stuff, airbag, I'm not sure. It has a Canadian sticker, so maybe they had to do some transferring of something, I'm not sure. All right, this is gonna be the trunk portion. Has a damper tailgate, and it's just that electric button inside there, not an actual latch. This has a like cargo separator, kind of lock stuff in, pretty nice. This doesn't have a liner. You can see it was used though, so it's quite a bit of scratches, some paint marks here. It does have the cargo lamps. It's pretty narrow because this does have the ram boxes, which I was showing you. Just the one thing is how those line up is what bugged me on that. But as far as your trunk, like this thing here, pop these. Looks like they've been on there a while, and then it just folds and rolls. But locks in good. It's kind of hard. I'll fix that here in a second. But locks in there. Like that. Boom. Got it one-handed. So that way it's not flapping in the wind and stuff. I didn't hear any extra noise or anything while I had the rear slider open, so that's good. Gonna conclude our tailgate portion, or trunk. All right, we're gonna do our scan here. First thing, we always check on the monitors. I also like to make sure the VIN's the right vehicle. Well, it like matches with the VIN on the car, as well as the computer. Everything checking out good here. That's what we like to see. The circles with the gray line through it, those are basically just monitors not supported by the scan. They're usually measured in some other capacity. Like these vehicles, for instance, Mopar, they don't use a mass airflow, so they measure things differently than like a standard setup. So some of those monitors will be kind of tied together. We're also going to check on our codes here. For some reason, it's not letting me connect to each module individually. I'm not seeing any active codes present in the computer, and I'll show you that here in a second. But I just wanted to kind of point out that I'm not able to get into each module, which is kind of strange. Haven't run out into that before. All right, so this is all I am able to get on the code scans. It says there's no active trouble codes here, so that's always good. We don't want to see anything active. On the live data, everything was looking good there, so I was able to go through quite a few things, make sure everything's working as it should. I just don't like that I wasn't able to see all the monitors individually on this. The reason was it was giving me some kind of unavailability code, which is weird. All right, so in the conclusions, I just like to highlight everything overall. Truck full functionality, everything's working great. I did highlight a couple concerns on the inside there. Vehicle does have some touch-up, but nothing like major body work or anything like that's been done. All pretty much factory as far as body and equipment. Truck does have about 94,000 miles, so you are seeing a bit of surface rust underneath. They did paint some of the areas, which you'll see during the video. I recommend getting these things undercoated up in our area. The other thing I wanted to point is the exhaust manifolds. Hemis are really common for the back bolts to break on those, and so when cold start, they're very loud, and the sound essentially dissipates as they get hot because the metal kind of seals that gap. It's very apparent on this on the cold start. One thing I would highly say, if you're not prepared to do, just know it's not the easiest thing, but it's not really that hard to fix those. It's just the hardware they use from factory. Other thing was just the way those ram boxes lined up. Some scratches and stuff all the way around the vehicle, but it drives really good, has plenty of power, cruise control, everything like that works really good. Radio, satellite, all of that. This did have the glass top, which I thought was really cool as well. LED lights all the way around, blind spot, lots of creature features, all that kind of stuff. Truck checks out really good. Just a few things to kind of check. The other main thing, I don't know if you went through the code scan portion or not, but it was not letting me get access to scan each module to check for history and stored codes as well. No active codes or anything like that popped on the overall computer scan, so nothing to worry ourselves with. I didn't have any drivability, but it's just kind of odd that it wouldn't let me scan that. I did want to be forthcoming about that. Haven't seen that happen to me before. And right now it's up at the high level. I'm gonna see if it can go higher than that. All right, so I had it at the highest. Now we're gonna lower it down. I just want to show you this like entry mode. Pretty crazy. It adds about, I don't know, man, almost 3 inches of lift all the way up. And then now it's just trying to level itself. Goes front first, then it follows up the rear. So pretty cool. Works fully functional. Didn't have any issues with that or any yelling at me. This does have a rear axle lock on it and 4 low. So should be a pretty capable truck. that's going to be our conclusion.